And we're live! It's a hair tutorial from jail! Woo!
I figured we're keeping it cash, so
We are. We're keeping it real cash. So hello everybody. This is I know the title of this currently, it will change after it goes up, is that we're talking about Hush Hush Sweet Char. Oh, I can hear myself. This is not good. This is not good. I can hear myself. Shh, 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 Jen. Shh. All right. So yes, normally we would be talking about Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte, which we are going to be doing next week. So return to this channel. We'll link it up. We have got some amazing stuff. We're also going to be tying this movie in with Feud that just ended on FX. So if you haven't watched that, we highly suggest you do. I don't even think Jail's watched it yet, but it is a phenomenal series. Go check it out. And we're going to be tying all that to the movie. And I don't know about Jail, but I got some thoughts on this movie, and they may just be a little controversial. I'm just saying, just spoiler on that.
People may not like what I have to say about this movie either, so.
Oh, girl!
Oh, you're
So be sure to come back and join us next week. The reason is some of you guys know, I'm trying to find your comments now. Oh, really? Somebody already thumbs us down. You know what you can do with your thumb? And you could do that other thing. Those thumbs that are up, we like those. We know what you could do with those too. And it's a party. All right. I know. I'm extra silly. But the reason why we're not doing the actual chat tonight, that we're doing more of like a casual one, is because poor sweet Heather needs everything to be hush hush right now. See, I'm tying everything in. It's brilliant. She needs everything to be hush hush right now because she has a horrible migraine. Poor girl had to like legitimately like pull over on her way home today. So I don't know if any of you have ever had migraines, but they are god awful. And once again, all right. So hi. We got and forgive me for all the mispronunciations that are going to start happening right about now with Idalia Rodriguez. Hi, we've got Miss Margaret is here with us tonight. Yolanda from Bombshell Beauty. Tiffany M is here. Our dear Roxy Rocket is here. And Miss Margaret said, rude to thumbs down. And I agree with her. She's Roxy thinks I'm funny. It's good that you think I'm funny and not crazy. This is why we all get along so well, because we're all a little strange. Dark Rose 1870 is here. Brianna is here. She's hoping Heather feels better soon. So do we. And Tiffany M says this reminds her of how much she misses the Periscopes. Oh, there will be more good chatty stuff coming real soon. Oh, yeah, I hope she feels better too. Oh, the League of Decency is here. Oh, see, and we even got casual with our backdrops tonight. The only reason why I put makeup on my face was Jail was like, I have a little on. And I'm like, oh, God, that means she looks good. So I at least put eyebrows and lips on.
I didn't even do my eyebrows. That's when I was like, I'm not wearing as much as usual. Like, I have no eyebrows right now. That's not doing very much makeup for me.
That's casual. Full face of makeup, but no eyebrows.
Yes. Pretty much.
I do want to say really quick, just shout out to you, because I feel like there's a lot going on this week, good and bad, and just, you know, we just want everybody to know we're thinking about everybody in Manchester. We love you guys over there. And also the Cherry Doll Face, Cherokee, went in for heart surgery today. She is out and she is headed home. So she's doing good. They couldn't do everything that they wanted to do, unfortunately, but they fixed the most concerning of the issues. So yay! And as well, one of our good friends, Sheena, that Shayna that we met at Boogie, she went in for some to get some bad, ugly stuff cut out of her. So we wish all of them the best, and we're all thinking about you guys and sending you guys good wishes your way. Oh, Jail, Miss Margaret says with bangs, girl, you don't need eyebrows.
I know. That's why I was like, ooh, sometimes I can skip my eyebrows. That's like 10 minutes shaved off of my makeup routine every day.
What is it that you guys will skip or won't skip with your makeup? I know for me, I have to put foundation on because otherwise my skin is real red and blotchy. I know. And I have to put eyebrows on, at least not like fully shape them, because these are just kind of filled in because I got a little ambitious with the plucking, trying to make them into, Crawford eyebrows, and it didn't work. What about you?
If you're gonna pluck, use a white liner and kind of like draw on where you want them to be, and then anything outside that line, then you can pluck that out.
That's
that
good.
Way you can draw glasses.
Good idea. What can't you skip, Jail?
I feel like because my eyes are so hooded, and because like if I take my glasses off, you can kind of see. Like I have this. The way mine are hooded is my lid is very flat up here, and I have extra skin, like it flaps down like this. So because of that, it makes my eyes look super like flat, almost like it makes my lid look really weird. So I always like, even a lot of times if I'm not wearing like any foundation or anything, like totally bare face, I'll put mascara on because it like adds definition to my eyes, and it makes it look like it doesn't go from like my forehead to my chin, like my eyes. It's just like
nice.
Yeah. Like somebody who has like a more like boy or like athletic shape, you're like super straight. So a lot of times like girls will cinch in something in the waist to like make that definition. So that's like what mascara does for my eyelashes. It makes it look like my lid doesn't just go.
Mary, Vintage Camper Girl, Wisconsin is here. She says, hiya. Roxy can't skip eyebrows because she doesn't have any. Miss Margaret won't skip the mascara. Mary says she'll skip the mascara. Tiffany says she got to have at least some brows. The League of Decency says you got to have concealer, otherwise she's the Walking Dead under the eyes. Jessica Blah says mascara. Dark Rose also is on the mascara train. Mary's the foundation. Miss Margaret says, Jail, you're a little harder to hear. Is her mic covered? I know I'm traditionally louder than Jail, so I don't know if that might have anything to do with it. Can I turn you up? Is there a way to be like boost her up?
I have a mic. I'm just on my phone in my bathroom, so I don't know if that is messing with it. I'll try and talk towards this end of my phone so you can hear me better.
Denise says she has to wear her sense of humor. I think that's the best accessory. Oh, and by the way, if anybody ever... Oh, you can't even see it from here. Dang it.
Panic room?
No, it says keep out. That was my hidey hole when I was a kid. Under the stairs. Like Harry Potter. That's it. There's an echo on Jail. It's the bathroom.
Yeah, it's because I'm set up in my bathroom because there's a lot going on in the office right now. And since I sort of up in the air, I didn't take care of it.
I know. Hence the strange backgrounds. So the big question that was asked was where is it? I know it was asked. They want to hear about Viva versus Boogie. I know Jael didn't go to Boogie this year, but she did go to Boogie last year with me, and we're gonna work really hard at getting her to Boogie this next year. Sorry. JL Roxy said, don't lie, you're hiding from your kids.
Only one of them is home. The other one is on an expedition for a project, which is why the office is sort of in chaos because
Dark Rose, I can't remember who I got this from somebody on Etsy, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it is. I did like a long time ago, did a video featuring some of her stuff. I
have one too.
If I can find that out, I'll put it in the comments or the little description box below. I thought it went well with the 70s backdrop. So, Boogie versus Viva. It's really hard to compare the two for me. One, because I work Boogie, so it's really hard to say versus Viva, which I don't know. I feel like Viva will always have a place in my heart. I do think Viva is a little. This is how I compared it. I compared it to Viva is like the corseted undergarments, and Boogie is like no undergarments, relaxed pair of jeans.
Yeah. The other thing I would say too is Boogie is a lot younger than Viva. This was like what, the third Boogie. So I feel like they're still sort of refining things. If you go, you'll notice that Boogie does feel at times a little less organized and a little bit harder to navigate. Viva, you pretty much know where everything's going to be. Although next year, because there were some hiccups this year, Tom is adding a lot for Viva next year. So it's going to be exciting because it's going to kind of be like a whole new Viva next year because they're moving and adding things. There's actually going to be, the pool party is going to go into the evening hours, and they're going to have stuff going on in the evening at the pool party, which I think is going to be really cool. And one of the things that I always kind of felt like was lacking about the pool party, didn't really make it that interesting sometimes, like for Friday and Saturday for the pool party. I feel like Boogie, it's definitely more relaxed. People dress up, but it's much more like vintage Western wear, which lends to that kind of more like relaxed atmosphere. There's definitely not as big of a crowd still at Boogie because it is still, I think, so new, and because it happens right after Viva. I think a lot of people have to choose, and a lot of people are still choosing Viva. But it is more family friendly for sure. So if you're looking for something that maybe is a little more low key, not as big crowds, then I would say definitely check out Boogie. The musically, it's still fairly similar. It lends a little more country Americana at Boogie, but you will see definitely crossover fans from Boogie to Viva. Viva, like, especially if you're really into like the vintage rockabilly scene, I feel like Viva is the event for you still. But if you're looking to sort of, I don't know, test the waters or just have something that's a little more like slow paced and relaxed, then I still feel like Boogie is something to definitely check out. I had a lot of fun last year, even helping Jennifer vend. I feel like you definitely have more of an opportunity to meet a lot more people at Boogie because there aren't as many people there. There are some venue hiccups at the Opryland Hotel. There are some difficulties navigating it. So I think that just will kind of come in time, like as people get used to that venue. The hotel is massive. Like it's a huge resort. And to get from the to even like food takes a real long time to get to that part of the hotel. So, and it's not like you can really just like leave and go somewhere else because that just takes as much time to get to your car to leave to go somewhere else to eat. So it's almost like comparing apples to oranges. It's a little bit of a different venue and vibe, but I think they're both worth checking out. If you can't do them both, I would say rotate.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, Viva, to me, it's an experience not to be missed. And I know some people, I was watching some of the comments go by, like some people find Viva very intimidating. And to that aspect, because I know like there are some great like Viva prep videos out there and blog posts, but at the end of the day, wear what makes you pretty. Don't worry about having to do costume changes and have a day and an evening. I mean, really I know for us, we love doing it because it's an opportunity for us to show off like the things that we love and the things that make us feel really pretty to a group of people that are going to appreciate like how much like we love what we're wearing. Like, oh, this dress, isn't that awesome? But that intimidation factor, you don't have to have all those changes that all the blog posts and the videos say that you don't need that. We see plenty of people that wear like jeans and t-shirts for the whole thing, or just casual skirts or whatever. So don't miss Viva because you're worried about that aspect. If it's just like the number of people, I hope to God this was nobody's first Viva. I know there was a lot of first Vivas this year. Please, if you were a first Viva goer, this is not our Viva. Last year or this year they had wristband fraud, which JL touched on. So it was sold out. And then on top of that, there were a bunch more people. So they were shutting down things so people couldn't get up to the venues to see bands. Luckily, we planned ahead and we got to see everybody we wanted to see, and we were up front and everything was great. But like when I was trying to get to Cy Cranston at Viva, because I was like, JL, I'm not missing him. And we got in to see him just fine, but I wanted to get his autograph for us. I wanted to buy a CD and get his autograph. And it was like just jam-packed sardines, and everybody was going this way and I was trying to go in the opposite direction, and we were staying to one side because nobody likes crowds, but JL really doesn't like that kind of crowds and pressure and elbows. And I look back and her eyes are like huge at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But then some woman in the back of the Cy Cranston line was like, it's back here. So I'm like a salmon running against the stream, and I grab JL and I move her up there, and then we got off to the side and it was fine. But good God, that look on her face, I was like, oh my God, I need to get her out of here. But that is not typical for Viva. Yes, it is crowded, but it's not normally to that extent. The bands were great this year, and I think there was less bands this year than there normally is, and I think that's just due to the high caliber acts that they had. I don't think they could get as many bands this year. So a lot of complaints about Viva this year, but on a whole, for me, and I think for JL as well, it was one of my best Vivas. I felt very relaxed, and it was just time to hang out with my girl and have a good time. And it was just a recharging for me but I didn't get to see as many people as I normally see. Like normally, like we run into pinup doll Ashley Marie all the time. And this year we didn't see them at all. We saw them once and that was it.
Well, yeah, we saw one in the shopping area Thursday, but it was so crowded. We were just kind of like, oh, hey, we were kind of getting shoved one way and they were getting shoved another way. And then our paths never crossed again for the rest of the weekend. And that typically doesn't happen.
Yeah. For Boogie this year, I will say that, for anybody who's joining late, because I see Colleen just came on and I believe someone else as well. The live stream for the movie is going to take place next week on Wednesday. Heather, unfortunately, is out with a terrible migraine, but we did want to pop in and have a short, just casual chat with everybody. And we're just kind of talking about Boogie versus Viva this year. Boogie did make some changes. The acts that were in the Opryland were right above each other, so it was a lot easier to go from level to level. They still have, somebody asked, it's shorter. Yes, it is shorter. Viva fully runs Thursday to Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so 4 days. Technically, Boogie runs Thursday to Sunday, but I'm gonna put a little asterisk on that. Thursday, the event is just at the Palace. They just have bands playing at the Palace, which is a bar across the street from the Opryland. Now, they do have a shuttle that goes from the Opryland to the Palace, which some people find annoying because it does force you to really make decisions. You can't, like, room hop like you can at Viva. So technically it starts on Thursday, but it starts Thursday night with bands. And then Sunday, they have a couple, like a handful of events at the Palace. And then if you pay extra, you can go see acts playing at the Grand Ole Opry. So to me, really, really, it's about 2.5 days, in my opinion. This is another difference. Colleen's on as well. But she says Boogie rocked her ass. Essentially, JL and I saw Wanda Jackson at Viva, and she was amazing. And we were basically like pretty much sobbing. And it was great and it was awesome. We saw her and then that was it. Colleen went to see her at Boogie, cried her butt off, and then actually got to speak to her, because they were able to kind of hang out afterwards, and they weren't able to do like hugs or autographs because, you know, she was tired, but she walked by and Colleen was able to say like, I love you, Wanda, or, you know, and Wanda was like, oh, thank you, honey, you know, and to have that like moment. I mean, she literally for like 20 minutes afterwards just boo, boo. When I was at Viva, I was able to see Charles Phoenix and talk to him at the car show. It was great. He was selling some of his little mugs. At Boogie, he was in the vendor room shopping, and I was able to be like, hey, how you doing? And actually have a conversation with him that was super relaxed. And I think Boogie, because it's still that small, gives you those opportunities to meet people, in general, meeting people. You know, because you could stand next to somebody in a room watching a band and all of a sudden you become friends, versus actually being able to really spend some time with some of these members of bands. So absolutely, absolutely amazing.
At Boogie, because it is smaller, it is a little bit more relaxed environment that a lot of the performers kind of roam around a lot more, and they kind of go and check each other's acts out. Whereas at Viva, you have some pretty high caliber acts that some of them definitely just come in for their performance and then that's it. They leave. Especially the car show acts, I feel like you don't really see them inside very much. You don't really see them checking out each other's shows, like performances, very much. You have some that go out in the hallways that do a meet and greet, but it's very quick. Like, you can go say a few words, get your picture taken, but you don't really get like that quality time with them. I can definitely see that happening more at Boogie, because everybody seems to kind of be there to kind of support each other a little bit more. So it is kind of it's a different environment at Boogie. It's a different mindset, I think, for sure.
Vintage Camper Girl, Wisconsin, Mary is saying, hey, Midwest gals, we have Mississippi Mayhem, which is kind of their version of Boogie. To me, it's a lot like the Simcoe Weekender, because there's camping involved, which is always awesome. That is actually really close to some of my cousins that I love dearly. So Mary has been trying to convince me to go to Mississippi Mayhem, and I may be vending there. So maybe that might be happening. I don't know. We'll see. But if you're up in the area, it looks like an amazing event. And Mary, I don't think, would steal us wrong. Would you, Mary? Would you steal us wrong? No. Tiffany and Mary also mentioned seeing Cora from Vintager Tacky in her most recent lookbook wearing an Atomic Starlet skirt. She's actually the owner of 2 Atomic Starlet skirts now. And she looked amazing in it, and I love the way she styled it. That's what I love seeing. Like when people get the skirts and then I get to see them wearing the skirts and I'm like, oh, they look amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. It looked like you were out early Sunday. Out of Boogie. Sunday was really nice. We actually we still got up early. We stayed at an Airbnb, which was great. Because I'm sorry, the Grand Ole Opry is freaking expensive. Super expensive. Everything in Nashville is really, really close. So I would have to say, if you are not a drinker and you're in a drivable distance to Nashville, drive down there and stay somewhere other than Boogie. There's actually a couple hotels that are like right across the street from the Grand Ole Opry as well. I know, it's just expensive to me. If you get their Boogie room rates, I think it's a little bit cheaper. But we were able to go have breakfast at Biscuit Love, which I took JL there our first year at Boogie. It was so good. So I took Colleen and then Heather and her man there as well. We had a great day. And then we kind of split off after that. They went to the Johnny Cash Museum. We went to the Patsy Cline Museum, which would just open like a month ago. If you love Patsy Cline, it's a great museum. I mean, both of them are really good museums. But they had a lot of Patsy's outfits, and I photographed the crap out of them because I want to try to recreate a couple of them for Boogie next year for my own personal wearment. Or who knows? Who knows? I might make them for myself and then decide to do something on the line. But yeah, it was really, really great. And then we headed back home on Sunday because it's about a 9-hour drive with stops and everything. I think, hold on. Where was it? Emily says she wants to adopt Wanda as her grandma. I think we would all be down with that, to be one big hippie family with Wanda as our grandma.
And her husband passed away. Like, it was Sunday or Monday, Wanda's husband passed away.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you noticed that, Jason? Because Jason had posted and said that he had, I think it was like on Sunday, he had like breakfast or something like that with them and had time to like sit and talk and stuff. And then the next day, her husband passed away. He was like 80, late 80s, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tiffany is going to see Charles in July. And that pinup tasting. Sort the South Out Cellars, I think is what she's talking about. That little pinup tasting room in Slovang, which I love that place. Is putting out an I know Merlot. That's awesome. Miss Margaret is coming to Chicago this summer and she wants a skirt for the trip. Absolutely. Girl, just email me. And if you're in Chicago this summer, check out Weird Chicago Tours. If you go on a ghost tour on Friday night or Saturday nights at 7, you just might get this person as your tour guide. Emily says she's so jealous. We had a chance to see Hellbilly Casino. She misses seeing them play back home. Yeah, they were great. We actually were able to catch their set. I think we've seen them like a gazillion times, but it's always a good show. And they played some of their new songs, and they sound really great. And they have a new album coming out in July, I believe. Colleen says, Emily or Tiffany, can you please get her a body? Yeah, can you get her body as well? No preference. Roxy sent me a message about her skirt. Oh, we got something going on. Gonna have to stay tuned to social media to see what Roxy and I get up to. Oh no, Miss Margaret's computer is freezing. Sure. Look for her. She lose up by me. Refresh all cool. Emily says she hasn't been able to wear a red shirt skirt because her school dress code is black on black with a side of black.
What? Talking. Hold on. I got mom duty.
All right. What? So Bailey says, jealous we don't get anything like this in Australia. I feel like I feel like there is some event in Australia, but I feel like Australia is really big and it could be like on the opposite side. Isn't there an event in Australia?
Shelly, because she does a lot of stuff down there. I think I don't know, I feel like she's always going to events. So, Shelly, was it
Minson? Yeah, Bailey to Bailey. Check out Shelly Minson if you don't already know of her. She always posts a lot of where she's going for events. And yeah, I feel like she does a lot in Australia. There's the child. Is it Betsy? I love JL's daughter. I think, was it Betsy?
Yeah, she wanted to know if I wanted to finish so when I'm done.
Nice.
Pressing to know.
So really quick, little question to throw out at you all, because I was thinking before this got started, like, what are we going to talk about? Which is a silly thing for me to do, because now I have to ask you guys, but it is a silly thing to do. It's not like we get on these live streams and all of us can't figure out something to talk about. I mean, this always happens when all of us get together, right? Hillbilly Casino's record, June 14th for the new record. Okay, I feel like I was talking about it all boogie long. I don't think, JL, have you seen the new And with an E?
I have. I did. I watched the whole thing. The whole first.
All right. So I haven't asked JL's opinion yet, but I have not watched it yet because right now I don't have Netflix, but I'm considering getting it because Madcap May liked it. It took her a while, but she liked it. Heather liked it. Colleen liked it. JL? Miss Margaret liked it. JL?
My thoughts on And with an E. Number one, I was hesitant if I was even going to watch it at all. I have a thing with when they remake something that is so completely perfect in every way. You know, everyone loves Anne of Green Gables. Everyone loves Anne of Avonlea. And for so long that you're very invested with these characters and the people who play the characters. So it's very hard to sort of like hand that torch over to someone when it was done so well. So I do like it. I don't love it. I'm definitely kind of hooked. Like, I want to see how they progress the story. I feel like they've done a really good job with keeping the storyline pretty spot on to the original. They haven't sort of like thrown any major curveballs in. My only issue, this could be a spoiler if anybody hasn't seen it yet, but Anne was, her character, despite everything that she had been through, was very like positive and optimistic about her future. She really believed that everything was going to work out and be okay. Anne with an E has a very dark side. They really kind of get into what she went through in previous foster families, the abuse, and she really kind of carries that with her. So her optimism is not as much this like positive, optimistic feeling as it is this desperate need to have a family because things have been so bad. So it's almost like it's not so much like positive and optimistic and I know everything's going to be okay and I'm going to, everything's going to work out fine. It's like, I need things to work out fine. I need you to like me. I need you to love me, kind of a thing. And so I don't really like how they sort of switched that with her character. I feel like it sort of takes away from who Anne of Green Gables was and who she grew up to be. The actress that they have playing Anne, she's okay, but like I said, she really feeds into that kind of like darker desperation, which I don't love that about the character, because like I said, I think that that's contradictory to who we know Anne to be. I don't find Gilbert as charismatic as original Gilbert. I think he's okay, but I think he's very dark also, which is sort of like, you know, Gilbert was like this, you know, popular and good looking, and he knew it, and he just saw that Anne was like this diamond in the rough, and he was totally into her. And I kind of don't like feel that from new Gilbert. Like, I don't really get that. I think the Marilla is great. I really like her. I like that she really keeps with who Marilla was or is. Matthew is okay. I feel like he's a little dark also. You know, I felt like original Matthew was just this kind of like quiet. He didn't say much because he didn't feel the need to say a lot. Like, he spoke when he felt the need to. This Matthew, it's like deep-seated issues. That's why he doesn't really talk. You know, like, he has this connection to Anne, but I don't know. There's like this sort of dark cloud over mine so far, and I'm not totally digging it, but I like it, and I'll continue to watch it because it's Anne, and I can't stop myself.
Okay, so knowing how much I and others like Roxy Rocket freaking adore Anne, do you recommend us to watch it going into it knowing as wait Miss Margaret has said she's seen it described as a gothic version of Anne?
Yeah, and it really is. So if you love Anne for who she is, and you love that she is just this positive against all odds, and you know, knows her place in the world and knows her worth in the world, and really is just like, I'm not going to let these people break me kind of a thing, because I really felt like that's who she is in Anne of Green Gables. I don't know if you're going to like how dark this one is. And it's not that it's all dark, but it kind of is. I mean, like, even the scenery, there's a lot of like rainy scenes in it. And I'm like, I don't remember it raining this much in the original. Like, maybe it did sometimes, but I feel like there's a lot of rain going on. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. This is not Anne of Green Gables.
Is it gonna depress me?
Hard to say. I would say watch the first episode, and if you just feel like, how is this going to get any better, then don't watch it, because it really it doesn't. It's in episodes, and it's obviously in seasons. So the one thing that they're able to do is sort of kind of extend scenes, and some of like the kind of individual storylines. So, and like I said, it really kind of, the storyline pretty much is kind of keeping true, with the exception of Gilbert's storyline. I have to go back. Anybody who has watched it, I don't want to totally like give everything away if there are people who are really interested, but anybody who has watched it so far, did they change Gilbert's storyline, who sort of like watched it to the end? Because I feel like his storyline is a little different. So let me know, let Jen know, and she'll relay it.
All right. I think I do have to watch it. I think I have to watch it knowing going in. I feel like if I was going in with it being like my Anne, I think I would be upset. But
yeah, this is kind of like the Jane Eyre of Anne of Green Gables. That's how I would sort of. It has that feeling, like that Jane Eyre feeling. I feel to it. I don't know if things are going to start to kind of pick up as the seasons go on, but this one is definitely, it's a little more like gothic novel, like everything is wrong kind of a thing, but it's good, and I feel like it is well done for the way they're taking the story. I feel like it's taken a little bit, they've kind of forgotten a little bit of who Anne is to retell this story. But I feel like they changed Gilbert's family storyline, and so I don't know if I like where it's going.
All right, good to know. Good to know. Oh. Well, Miss Margaret says, well, she's got a couple things to say, which I like. She says that she'd like to see a remake of the Little House series that is truer to the book series. And I completely, hands down, agree with that. I mean, I grew up on Little House on the Prairie. I had nightgowns just like Laura Ingalls. And I love it, but I would like to see it remade closer to, because to me, the books and the show are two different animals. So I'd love to see that happen. Let us know if you feel that same way. But she also says, she doesn't think it will depress me. She says she laughed and cried during it. She does say that, yes, Gilbert's storyline is a little different. He goes places he didn't go. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
And she says all the episode titles are Jane Eyre quotes.
See?
And she says it is purposeful. And Colleen does say it's grittier, more realistic view of country life. And Jessica Blah. I could say your name all day, Jessica Blah. I think you should watch it because even if you don't like it, it'll strengthen your understanding of why you love Anne. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it.
It will like strengthen the resolve of how much you love the original. So
I just wish I could cleanse it with the original because I don't have the DVDs because you can't stream it on freaking line. It's my anger face. Which I have that issue with the 2007 version of BBC's version of Persuasion, which is my hands down favorite Persuasion. Persuasion's my favorite Jane Austen book, period. I reread it every year. I feel like it is my life. I just haven't gotten to the ending of it yet. But yeah, it's just that. I mean, I know everybody loves Pride and Prejudice, but it's Persuasion is for me. It is on Netflix, but it's the 95 version. The 2007 version is with Sally Hawkins. And it is just a beautiful, and Giles from Buffy plays the dad in that version. Colleen says she thinks they're supposed to re-release the original Anne of Green Gables series on DVD. So I think I am gonna try to watch it.
Get it. You can go, there's like an Anne of Green Gables website that sells merchandise. It's like an official website. You can get the DVD box set from them. It's not that expensive.
I just don't like, I hate having DVDs now. I like everything on I mean, I guess when the world ends, I won't be able to get to the internet on the cloud to get all my stuff. So maybe I should get DVDs. Because if you watch The Walking Dead, they're like watching old reruns because they have they have VHS tapes and stuff. Yolanda says she was trying to watch Cable Girls, which I've heard a lot of good things about. But she said the lip sync was off, so I couldn't concentrate watching it. That's what I've heard a lot of people complaining about. They wish it was just subtitled. Wasn't that you that we were having that discussion?
Yeah, it's dubbed over in English because it takes place in Madrid, and it's all Spanish actors. It's all done there, and so they dubbed it over in English, which it does kind of throw you off. You feel like the sync is off, but it's actually just dubbed over. And I feel like it's obvious that some of the characters' voices to their faces and mannerisms doesn't always sort of seem to match up very well. I kind of sit there wondering, I wonder what that person really sounds like. Because there is another really great series called The Time in Between that also takes place in Madrid, and that one has English subtitles, and I'd rather enjoy that, mind it once you sort of get into the storyline. But I do feel like Cable Girls it's a good series, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. You just have to go into it knowing that it is dubbed over in English. So if you're watching it going, their lips don't match what they're saying, it's because they're speaking in Spanish. And I think it would have been better if it just gone ahead and done English subtitles, but I think it's being marketed to an American audience or an English speaking audience now. So they just went ahead and dubbed over in English.
Yeah, I just feel like people don't have, I mean, maybe there's research that says differently, but I don't have a problem watching in subtitles. I actually, like you said, like hearing that person's actual voice. It just lends an emotion to it. I think when it's dubbed, it kind of separates you from the show a little bit, jars you out of it. And I put on subtitles anyway because I can't hear. My hearing is really, really bad. So I subtitle everything, and it's just you get used to it, and it seems like you could really get into the flow a little bit more. A lot of them feeling the same way about DVDs. Dark Rose 1870 says that Anne Megan Fellows is now playing a queen on Reign, the show Reign. An awesome queen, by the way. Yolanda's trying to finish the 3rd season of Salem. Kate Strange, apparently we all need to move to the UK because not only one of my best friends is living in London now, but they have subtitles for Cable Girls, which she says is amazing. Colleen says she HATE Rain. She tried really hard to get into it, but she's a purist with her period pieces. Gloria loves crafts. Hi. She likes subtitles. Her husband refuses to read a movie. Miss Margaret also says she can't deal with Rain's costuming. I take it for what it is. Right, it's not wrong. Hit and miss from Rain. So, yes. I'm actually going to watch Persuasion because I did find a version on Daily Motion. It's a really bad version, but, girls got to do what a girl's got to do sometimes when she needs a little Jane Austen in her life. I've been very much in a romantic movie mood, but not like Colleen and I getting ready for Boogie. While we were sewing, we watched Beetlejuice because it's a romance, right? Stardust and Romancing the Stone. How long has it been since any of you have seen Romancing the Stone? And it holds up, people. Holds up. Love that movie. All right, so our short live stream turned into an almost full-length live stream. So thanks, guys, so much for coming out tonight. Again, I hope that you come out next week as well. On Wednesday, we will be back talking about Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte. And for extra credit, Roxy watched Romancing the Stone the other night. Great minds, my girl. Watch, if you haven't watched it, watch Feud on FX as well. It's a very short series. I guess the new one is going to be Prince Charles and Diana in the next season. So really, really, really excited about that. But for bonus points, watch Feud as well, because I'm sure it will come up during next week's live stream when Heather is back with us and we talk about Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte. And JL and I have strong feelings about this movie. You just don't know in what direction. And we'll be putting up, again, if you don't follow us on the Facebook page, Classy Chicks Vintage Flicks, do so. You guys, there's some good discussion on there. And as well as we do votes and polls for what's going to be for the next month. Roxy's keyboard just changed to French. Oui, mon chéri. I don't know why I just did this, but oui. Don't let them really spend. All right. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you next week. And JL has a new, what do you call that, video up on her channel. Go check it out. There'll be a new video coming up on a Vintage Vanity in the next day or two. So check that out. Heather is always good about putting her videos up. So go ahead to her channel and check out her latest video. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for stopping by, and continue, because sadly, we're going to lose all the comments. So continue the conversation in the comment section of this video, and we will see you guys next week. Have a great night. Bye, guys. JL, say bye.
Bye.
Oh God, I can't even. Just keep waving, JL. Just keep waving.